Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect. Today's beverage is a very carbonated yet also chilled fruit twist soda. So welcome back to the game, and previously we were improving the security of the design mainly by putting in a lot more perimeter wall, and also we put in the door timers, which I'm not entirely convinced they are. It's an improvement in, let me just fix this one here, improvement in the security. In fact, if anything, it's going to make it less secure, because having the guards have to open and close all of these solitary doors, it's probably more secure that way, although it does give access to like different contraband if the guys were to kick off. But anyway, it is what it is, and the door servos are in. It's just a lot easier for us. In this episode, we're going to continue on with a couple of things. Firstly, I do want to put in more cliff edges and this grass here. Not visually impressed with this one. I do like the cliff edges going to the water, but this sort of line here, it is what it is. But we'll put that in, and then also we'll look at, well, we're going to do a bit of an experiment when it comes to an airlock system over at the centre here. Now, I have no idea if it's going to work or whether it's even really worth it, but we're going to try that. And also, I have got, if we go to our intake here, the max sec turned off and supermax turned on, basically because I want to transition over to a 100% max sec facility. That means if we go to deployment, the top 3 cell blocks, the first ones we did, eventually once we have a low number of prisoners, currently max security is 33 and the maximum capacity is 36, once that drops to 24, we'll then change one of these to supermax and then just get a boatload more prisoners in that way, and that means more intake and all of that sort of thing. Anyway, so yeah, I have fixed that, haven't I? Yes, I have. Any security. So we want to put in, like they say, the security features around the edge of this, and that's going to go in the form of this water here. Now, water is actually pretty cheap to put in, so I don't have any issues doing that now. That's going to massively increase the security. Doesn't feel like it should, but it definitely does. And then we'll go for like the cliff edges and such. I think the workers are going to have a bit of a time cracking on with this one. There we go. The problem is the cliff edges. Cliff edges are ridiculously expensive. We've got a cliff edge here. Rotate this around to say, is that correct? Yes. Just to do this one section down to the front here is 10 grand. Wow. Okay, well, I'll put it in. Oh, actually, wait. I'm okay doing that now because the water's in. If the water wasn't in, that could have been a bit of a problem. Anyway, over to long grass. We're doing that because it's walk speed of slow. I could stick with dirt. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to do a bit of an experiment and change this to dirt to see if it matches up well with this. The sand seems to match up well as a bit better. Like the sand, is that sand? So maybe we just keep it as sand, actually. The reason I went with the long grass is because it's cheap, its walk speed slow. Well, dirt is the same. So there's that's mud. If I was to go sand, we're just checking the edge here. Does the sand look the same? That's what sand is like there. It's got a better contrast. Let's go with mud. We'll see what mud looks like. I mean, I think we're all aware of what mud looks like, but let's just see what it looks like from this point. Well, you know what? I don't actually mind the mud there. It sort of works for like the moat type of approach, and I believe it's also free. Mud is free, I think, is the joke in game. Let me just try this. Let's see what it looks like. A full mud. Sadly, this is getting done at night, so we're not going to be able to see until morning. Anyway, so in terms of our grants, we've got 3 of them. Prisoner reoffending rate, get that to under, or reduce it to 30%. Prison manufacturing facility and cell block C. Basically, we're not going to do either of them. Reoffending rate is 41. It was down to about 36, I'm going to say. Maybe? Other high-pitched noises? Yeah, I'm not too sure. But it was... yeah, it was what it was. So, that's the downside of getting supermax inmates. We do have a grading though, 21% reoffending rate. Not that the other one says that, but then that's based on people that have left. So, looking at this, the mud actually looks okay, but I'm conscious And let's be honest, we are just talking aesthetics here. That this here is dirt. So if I was to change that back to dirt, it'll match up with this. Yeah, it does match up with that, and that's also walk speed slow. That's pretty much just set this off now. We're going to change all of this to be just standard dirt. In fact, most of it will be. There'll be the odd bit of grass, which is why I'm going around here and doing that. And then this section. Sadly, because I've already put in some of the walkways, naturally, we'll have a couple of issues here and there. If I was to run over that. There's a tunnel there. I don't believe it. So far... Oh, right. That sniper seems to be a bit stuck. Are they a bit stuck? Let's just move them over. Move that guy away. Off they go. Don't know what was going on there. Interesting. Anyway, back over to the flooring and to dirt. And there's a little bit of sand here. So we'll change that. And then I think the rest of it is okay. Yeah, it's fine. And here, yeah, it's not going to look great, but again, it's going to be fairly secure. So we'll go for the cliff edge, and if we want to focus on anything, we're focusing on the Supermax, I guess, guys. Those are the ones that are probably the most problematic. Where's that? What section is that? Is it that? I think it is. And then it's that, isn't it? And, well, there's the end of that building session. The problem we might have here is if anyone gets into this section, like if they go on that bit of water, like how do they get out? Well, they don't, basically. They don't get out. Apparently there's a tunnel over there, which is, yeah, probably a fake one. Going to go to custom schedule for shakedown and just double check. All. Yes, it is currently set. So we did put some automatic schedules in for... Well, there you go. There's the tunnel search. And we didn't set that going. That's just the game doing its thing, which is fine. Anyway, we want to go for... I'm going to try something, and this is going to be very much an experiment. And in this section, we have these door servos. Well, a door servo and a large jail door. And we have the double door, staff door. I think weakness-wise, there is two main weaknesses in the design. This is like a weak spot because you have to go through here and around and down. That's a weak spot. And another big weak spot, probably more than that side actually, is over here. I'm not too sure what I can do about this section, but we'll see. But I want to put in an airlock system in place, and I want to probably put it in here. The problem I think we'll experience is if we just go to normal speed, these doors have, well, this one has a door servo, and you can see the large shield door. There's an actuation time. Like, it takes time for that to open and close. Even if it's set to close, so that goes to closed, and then it starts to close. It has this sort of delay thing, and I think this is probably too small to have in the system. But we shall see how we get on. So let's have a bit of a try. So I'm going to dismantle this door at the front. Then I'm going to go over to utilities and wiring and door servo. We're going to put a door servo there and a door servo in there. Those should be connected up already, yep, because we've got that line across there, which is fine. And we also want to put in the actual doors. So at the moment, I've got the big doors here. We could go more security and go for keycard large door. It is possible, but this is just a test, so we're going to go with standard large doors like that. Now, in order to make this work, we need to connect it to some door servos, and we do have some door control systems. We've got one there, but I'm going to put in a separate one. We don't need it in terms of the throughput, but I think it would be of some benefit to have... let me just put it... Can I put it there in that corner? I think I can put it there. I think it would be some benefit to add just for sake of debugging. Like, if things go wrong, I know it's all connected to one thing. And, yeah, we'll do that. Guards-wise, I probably need to get some more staff. Let me just check needs here for a second. It's over to... Mine has gone complete blank. Needs and staff needs. And no, there's only a tiny critical rating for food, so nothing much to worry about. Right, so connection systems are now in, and then that'll be connected up. I'm going to go over to wiring and connections and to this door, and I'm going to basically right-click, and that removes it from the system. And then the other one will go 1, 2, and 3. So those 3 are now in place. So we've got 1, 2, 3 doors. But what we want to do is make sure that when either the left or right doors is open, if those are open, the middle one has to be shut. We could even say if one of them's open, the rest slam shut as well. So how would we do that? Well, we need some logic, and that's a problem for someone like me. So this is called a logic circuit, and we're going to need at least 3 of them. But where to place them? It wouldn't fit in that corner, because we've got things there. I mean, I could just put them here, or I could put them over here. Is there any issue putting them in this area? I don't think so. If we were to put them around here, it would probably work. Let's, is that a security flaw for putting them around here? Don't think so. Well, okay, putting them here is going to make wiring easier, so there's that, if nothing else. So it's going to go logic circuit, logic circuit, logic circuit. We need 3 of them in total. 1 for each door. And I've used these in the past, but not recently and not in anger to let's say, force this in position. But we'll see what happens. So, this is where, once you've installed them, you can set them to a particular type of logic. So there's and, or, not, NAND, nor, XOR, equal to, and then back to AND. You've also got other I think it's logic bridges. You can like compare the two. But I don't think we need anything other than, I think it's going to be a NOR, which can take in, I think they can take multiple inputs and have multiple outputs. And yes, we'll check them against different door servos. So let's try wiring. So utilities and wiring and connections. So what we want to do is I'm going to have this top, middle, and bottom connect to left, middle, and right. That should have been in that that way, so we can go left to right. I should point out as well, this is not a tutorial. Like, this is, I mean, I'm like a dog with a chemistry set. I have no idea what I'm doing, but we'll give it a try. So I want to make sure that this door here is only open when these are closed. So what I'm going to do is connect up that door servo to that, and that door servo to that. And what happens is we get a high signal, which is in red, and a low signal, which is in blue. And I believe if either of these are set to high, then that's what we'll get for the other one. Is that correct? So if that could possibly be open because of this door control system. Let's continue on checking here. So this one, we want to check that one, and then output to that one, and then it's that one, and then output to that one. Okay, and has that completely broken the game? Is it like typing Google into Google? There seems to be a step missing. So if those two, let's just pause it there. So these two are both low, which means that can be high and open. This one, we've got one low and one high, which makes this one low, and a similar thing for this one. We've got a low and a high, and then that one there. So let's come out of that and see if any of what I've done actually works, but it feels like it's not wired correctly. So this middle one should be shut. Yeah, that's never changing. Okay, I'm sure I've missed a step here. I'm sure I've missed a step. Because all of them are closed now. Then one of them opens up. So all of them are closed. Then that opens. Definitely going to have to do something with these doors on the right as well. And we've got this sort of delay thing as well. So that should open, which means these two closed. So that yes. But that's not closed. Now it's closed. I'm going to have to debug this, aren't I? Okay, so I went back through the wiki and double-checked a couple of past works, and it seems to be correctly wired. The gnaw is set up correctly, I believe. If you have it to, well, a lot of people have it as, which is not. If you have multiple inputs, again, according to the wiki, it acts as a gnaw, which is why we set this to this in the first place. So yeah, it should be, let me go back to wiring here, it should be the first gate here. If either of the inputs, which are these two doors, are low, that goes to high. Anything else, it goes the other way. So, for example, this one in the middle, the left gate is open, so that's set to high in red, and then the right is low in blue, which means, yeah, because it's anything else other than double low, that closes that door. Similar thing for that one. So it's checking left and... no, it's checking right and middle, checking the left and right, and then checking the left and middle. Yeah, that seems to be correct. However, I have a feeling that basically, because of the door actuation speed, yeah, you can see people are just flying through this one. Does it make it more secure? Well, it makes it more interesting. I don't know if it works, but let me know in the comments, and I'm sure people will. Anyway, we're not going to focus too much on that one. We're going to have to do something similar over here, because this is where we've got, let's say, a bit of a security flaw. If people were to kick off around here, there's only 1, 2, 3 doors for them to get to about here, and there's another shakedown underway. What can we do about that? Well, at the moment there's a bit of water and a fence, so prisoners can actually climb over that. In escape mode, there's nothing we can do about the cliff edge, so that's what we're going to put in and try and make it more secure. Over to landscape here and cliff edge, and I'm going to go from maybe this one and then go down. This is going to completely bankrupt me, but well, needs must. Let's go for, can we afford the full 22? Nah, can't afford all that. That ain't happening. How much is that? 17 grand for that section there. I'm just going to max speed this out while we finish this off. And as I said, this is one of the last bits of security that we sort of really want. If the prisoner... Can the prisoner use a rope going over this? That is the question. Can a prisoner use a rope to climb over the cliff edge? Feels like they probably will. There is... Oh yeah, Ricardo again. Always kicking off. We go for experience. Recent misconduct is destruction and attacked staff. Let me get their reform. It's going to be non-existent. Yep, estimated reoffending chance is 82%. Those guys... And that guy's not getting out. He's tough and volatile and has 2 previous convictions for murder, served 19.5 years. Anyway, let's go over to intelligence and last 24 hours. And what is not surprising is we have found some contraband, but we've all found it either in the scanning system in deliveries or it's been brought into the staff canteen. In fact, what may be worrying is that there's more contraband found in the staff-only area than the actual facility. What does that tell us about the design and/or our staff? I have no idea. Yes, there's some nonsense afoot there, I think. Let's go ahead and just get the remaining bit of this cliff edge in. I'm very tempted to sell some more shares. But what would that give us? If it's 50 grand, I'll do it. Oh, 47. I'm going to bend my own rule here. I think I'm going to sell some shares. I'm going to sell some shares because I would very much like to have a nice milestone of getting this done. So cliff edge into there. Then we're going to go for a corner piece, which is going to be like that. And then actually while we're here, we might as well do this bottom section. And that's already been done, and I've done that corner section, yes. So over to the cliff then, and that's going to be 30 grand. Brilliant. I won't do it yet. I'm going to do the bottom bit first because those are, I guess, technically a bit more high risk because obviously these are Supermax. And can I get both in? If we can, that is a very, very good milestone. And I should point out as well that once this cliff edge is in, that means that I've got no money, A, and B, the only way in escape mode, as far as I'm aware, actually you might be able to tunnel through it. You might be able to tunnel through it, which is still a bit of an issue. If we were to tunnel from here, you've got, well, doggo patrols, 2 perimeter walls with some water, with eventually a 3rd perimeter wall. So the chances of being detected are very high, but it's still possible. But anyway, digging that way, I think you can go through the cliffs. It says it's impassable, but doesn't say we can't tunnel under it. I'm just going to assume that we can until otherwise informed. But yeah, in escape mode, you can't just jump over it. If there was, yeah, the water there and the cliff there, you'd think that you'd be able to just go splash and just jump in. But you can't. But there you go. And there's the cliff edge. So it means that basically then, the only place without a cliff edge is this section here. And we could probably make this even more secure by removing all of this and putting in more of these steel footbridges. But, well, I don't think we need it. So we'll not bother for now. How are we on for inmates? We're still on for a maximum security of 33, which is, yeah, a bit of a shame. It's going to take a while for a lot of these inmates to go. Let's have a quick look at them. This is Andrew Marples. They've served 36.7 years of a 50-year stretch. We've got Stoneman. We've got 20-odd years to serve, I think. We've got this guy, same again, a bit more actually. Wow, that's 67 years and they've served 43.4 years. This gent here, age 66. How old would they be? 40, 50, 60. I mean, 60. They'd be in the 90s. I think they will actually be 90 if they actually leave. But prisoner aging is on. Can prisoners die of old age? Anyway, the workers are finishing up the cliff edge here, which again is going to increase security. I'm going to look at reform. Hopefully it's dropping down by 1%. It has. It has actually dropped down to 40%, which is good. Yeah. I'm still looking at that. I think this looks wrong. But I think if it's wired correctly, it still doesn't work because it's so close. Ideally, what we'd want is one here, one maybe here, one there, and one there. Or do we want to have it? I mean, you could even have it these doors. Obviously, all of these are all staff doors. We have discussed changing them to not staff doors to make it more secure. Is it going to happen? Truth be told, I don't think so. Security-wise, I just don't think we need it. Right. Anyway, we have a bit of an issue in terms of cash money. I can sell our last remaining set of shares. You can only go to 50% ownership of the facility. If I do that, it means we've got that extra bit of money to then build. What would we build is the question. I mean, I can go for perimeter wall up here. That would be 27 grand times 4. So over 100,000 to get the perimeter wall in. Would that increase the security? Yes. Do we need it? Absolutely not. Like, we've had nobody try to escape. So, yeah, bit of a quandary. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll see how we get on. That's me a bit of prison architect. I'm hesitant to just spend loads of time and effort and money on making it more secure for the sake of doing it, whereas I'm not going to expand. Expand is outside the scope of this design, but we do have forestry, and death row does exist. Death row's 10 grand. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is it death row? Or is it additional security? Or maybe a bit of death row, go back to security, in between the two, while alternating, trying to get more supermax. Let me know what you think, and as always, comments in the comments. Hope you have enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.